Arithmetic, sequences, and series. We're going to start by asking the question, how do we determine if a sequence is arithmetic or not? We're going to start with number 3 on your worksheet. For number 3, you're given a sequence 0.3, 0.5, 0.7, 0.9, 1.1, and we're asked to determine whether this sequence is arithmetic or not. You need to look for the common difference that we call a D. If we have a common difference, this sequence is arithmetic. So let's go ahead and take a look at the terms here. For 0.3 to 0.5, we are adding 0.2. From 0.5 to 0.7, again, we're adding 0.2. From here to here, again, we're adding 0.2. So I'm thinking the common difference is 0.2, and therefore it is arithmetic sequence. For number 4, if you look at the problem here, we have the sequence that starts with 1/2, to 1/4, to 1/6, to 1/8, to 1/10. Well, it's a sequence, all right, but there is no common difference here. As you can see, the difference from 1/2 to 1/4, it is not the same as from 1/4 to 1/6. As a result, it is a sequence, but not necessarily an arithmetic. So this particular sequence, maybe it is in the pattern 1/2n, but it is not necessarily an arithmetic sequence. To write a general rule for an arithmetic sequence, this is a question that's going to come up over and over again. So we're going to write a rule for an arithmetic sequence. I need you to remember this formula, which states an is equal a1 plus n minus 1 times d. Every single time you're asked to write a rule, your job is to find a1 and d, plug them into this equation and simplify it. So let's take a look at an example number 5. An example is such number 5, you're given a sequence 3, 9, 15, 21, and so on. This is an arithmetic sequence. So your job here is to figure out what is A1, what is D, and if you can determine those two, then you can write the rule. A1 here, as you can see, it's 3. D is the common difference, and as you can tell, the common difference here, you're adding 6 every time. From 3 to 9, adding 6. From 9 to 16, you're adding 6. From 15 to 21, you're adding 6. To write the rule, we're going to go an is equal to a1, which is 3, n minus 1 times the d, which is found to be 6. You must simplify it, and that will give us 3 plus 6n minus 6, which gives us 6n minus 3. So your general rule for this arithmetic sequence is an equals 6n minus 3. Continuing with number 7 on your worksheet, and again we're asked to find the general rule for this particular arithmetic sequence, -1, -1/2, 0, 1/2, and so on. Well, to write the rule, I told you every single time you need to find a1 and d. If you know those two, then you can go ahead and write the rule. a1 here is -1. To find d, look for the common difference. What are you adding or subtracting to get to the next term? And as you can see here, we're adding 1/2. The common difference between -1 to -1/2 is 1/2. Between -1/2 and 0 is 1/2. And so now to write the rule, we're going to go ahead and say an is equal a1 plus n minus 1 times d. You must simplify this rule. It's -1 plus 1/2 n minus 1/2. And as you can see, an is going to be 1/2 n minus 3 over 2. This is the rule that I'm asking you to write. Okay, we're going to continue to write an arithmetic rule. This time, what we're given is, for look at with me at number 9 in your worksheet, you're given the 12th term, which is -13, and you're given d to equal -2. Well, in order for us to write the rule, you need two things. You need a1 and you need a d. We're already given a d. So all what we have to do now is try to figure out how we're going to get to a1. Well, I need you to remember this formula. an is equal to a1 plus n minus 1 times d. How are we going to use this formula based on the given? You're given the 12th term. And if we start with the first term and go all the way to the 12th term, that means we have 12 terms in this sequence. And our job is to figure out what the first term is. If the 12th term is negative 13 and we're looking for the first term, and that's going to be 11, and D is negative 2. And so to solve for A1, you're going to have to add 22 to both sides. And when you add 22 to both sides, A1 is going to equal to 9. All right, now that we have A1 and we have a D, can we write the rule? The rule is going to be AN is equal to 9 plus N minus 1 times negative 2. We must simplify this rule, which gives us 9 minus 2n plus 2. And so if you simplify it enough, AN is going to give us 11 minus 2n. Okay, number 11, we are asked to write a rule, an arithmetic rule, but this time they did not give us either A1 or D. Look what they gave you instead. They gave you A18th, which is the 18th term, and they gave you the 27th term. And so how are we going to use these two to find what we want to write the rule? We really need A1 and we need a D. If we know those two, we can write the rule. So we're going to go ahead and try to use what we're given to find A1 and D first. If we're given the 18th term, I could use A18 is equal A1 plus how many term goes from the first term to the 18th term? So there will be 18 minus 1 times D. Simplifying this expression, it gives you negative 5 equal A1 plus 17D. Now if we use the second given to us, the 27th term, we can use A1 plus from the first term to the 27th term, there is 27 minus 1 times D. And if you simplify this expression, it gives you negative 8 is equal to A1 plus 26D. Now we have two equations, two unknown. This is the first equation, this is the second equation. I need you to use elimination in order to solve for A1 and D. So I'm going to keep the first one here, which is negative 5 equal to A1 plus 17D. I'm going to multiply the second one by a negative 1. So that will give us positive 8 equal negative A1 minus 26D. Now when we add the system, we have negative 5 plus 8, it's going to give us a 3. Positive A1 minus A1 is going to cancel out. Positive 17 minus 26 is going to give us negative 9D. And when you solve for D, D is going to give us negative 1/3. Alright, we found the first thing we want, which is negative 1/3. We're still looking for A in order for us to write the term, so we can go to either one of those two equations and solve for A1. I'm going to select this equation over here. Negative 8 is equal A1 plus 26 times negative 1/3 for D. And so this will be negative 8 equal to A1 minus 26 over 3. Add 26/3 to both sides, and you will find A1 equal to 26 over 3 minus 8, which is 24 over 3. And if you do common denominator, you will find that A1 is equal to 2/3. Alright, now here what we have. We have what we went to look for. We went to look for A1 and D. What I need you to do now, we're going to go ahead and start writing the rule. Okay, since we found A1 to be 2/3, and we found D to be negative 1/3, the rule is going to look something like this. It's A1 plus N minus 1 times D. So the first term, we found it to be 2/3, and we have to leave it into the rule, and D is negative 1/3. We need to simplify this expression. It's going to be 2/3 minus 1/3 N positive 1/3 if you were to distribute this one here and here. And so this is going to give us 1, 2/3 plus 1/3 is give us 3/3, which is 1, minus 1/3 N. This is your rule. Next, we're going to look at number 12. Number 12, they're asking you to find the sum Of all the terms, they go from 1 to 22. That means there's 22 terms in that sequence. And the general rule for that sequence is 5 minus 2i. We certainly do not want to state all these 22 terms and simply add them up. That's too much time. We have a formula I need you to remember, which is n over 2a1 plus an. You are to look for n, you are to look for a1, and look for an and come back to that formula and plug them in. Well, to find a1, since we're going from number 1 to number 22, as you can see, there's 22 terms in that sequence. To find a1, we're going to just simply plug in 1 into the rule. 5 minus 2 times 1, which gives us 5 minus 2, which is 3. To find the last term in this sequence, we're going to plug in the last number in that rule. So that will give us 5 minus 2 times 22, which gives us 5 minus 44, and that's going to give you negative 39. Now that you have everything you need, go ahead and plug them into your formula, and let's go ahead and find the sum. So the sum is going to give us n is 22 divided by 2. Your first term is 3, and you're adding negative 39. And so the 22 over 2 is going to give us 11. 3 minus 39 is going to give us negative 36. And if you multiply those, it will be negative 396. This is how we find the sum of all the arithmetic sequences.